Does the government have an earthquake making machine?
From utexas.edu. The earthquake machine began simulating earthquakes in late 2022 and is one of a suite of instruments Jackson School of Geosciences researchers are using to make lab measurements of each stage of an earthquake.
Hold on to asses. Earthquake alert. July 2nd, 2025. Watch closely. 9,906 earthquakes to 0.5 and greater past month. USGS. Be ready for anything.
Scientists just solved a mystery that's been puzzling geologists for decades. It's called the gold nugget paradox, and the answer will literally blow your mind, or at least it did mine. Picture this. Miners are pulling massive golden nuggets out of solid rock. We're talking about nuggets weighing over 20 pounds. But here's the crazy part. The underground water that's supposedly carrying this gold only contains a few parts per billion. That's like trying to build a mansion with a handful of Lego blocks. The maths just doesn't maths, okay? It's not working. For years, geologists have been scratching their heads. How do you get massive chunks of pure gold from water that barely contains any? Most of the world's gold comes from quartz veins, those white crystal formations you see in rocks. But the water flowing through them is practically gold-free. This is where Dr. Christopher Voysey from the Monash University comes in. See, he and his team discovered that earthquakes are literally nature's gold manufacturing plants. When an earthquake strikes, it isn't just shaking the ground, it transforms quartz crystals into natural tiny batteries. Here's where it gets rather insane. See, quartz is what scientists called piezoelectric, which means that when you squeeze it, it generates electricity. Now, during an earthquake, the pressure can exceed 15,000 pounds per square inch. That's enough to make crystals of quartz produce several hundred volts of electricity across microscopic distances. Now, these electric fields act like powerful magnets for gold. See, the positively charged gold particles floating in the water get yanked out and stick to the quartz surface almost instantly. It's like nature's own electroplating system, but way more intense than anything we could ever build. But here's the kicker. Once the first tiny specks of gold stick to the quartz, they become like lightning rods for future earthquakes. See, each new earthquake adds another layer of gold, and this process accelerates. The nugget literally grows itself, earthquake by earthquake. The researchers calculated that after around a few thousand earthquakes, which is totally normal for an active fault over, let's say, 1 million years, you can grow nuggets weighing 22 pounds or more. No massive volumes of gold-rich water needed, just stress and pressure. To prove this wasn't just some theory, they took quartz blocks, dunked them in gold-bearing water, and hit them with mechanical shocks that mimicked a magnitude 5 earthquake. Now, within minutes, they found gold nanoparticles clustering on the crystal surfaces. So yeah, next time you see gold jewelry, remember that those nuggets were forged by Earth's most violent forces, built up one earthquake at a time over millions of years. Nature's been running the ultimate long-term investment plan, and earthquakes are the interest payments. If you enjoyed my video, like, comment, share, follow, and I'll see you in the next.
After studying Sumerian cuneiform tablets for 30 years, he asserts that these so-called Sumerian gods were, in fact, extraterrestrials that landed on Earth in Mesopotamia more than 450,000 years ago. According to Sitchin's translations, the Anunnaki both created human beings and also had a part in mankind's downfall, when a great flood nearly destroyed all life on Earth. But why? What was the purpose of the Anunnaki's earthly visitations? And why did they create the creature known as man?
Zecharia Sitchin wrote a number of well-received books on the Anunnaki, which he believed were basically extraterrestrial entities from a planet called Nibiru, which he quite controversially believed actually exists in our solar system. His theory was they upgraded the human race and used them as sort of a slave species.
Sitchin understood, based on his interpretation of the tablets, that the mission had to do with the failing atmosphere around the planet Nibiru, and that when they came to mine gold.
The Anunnaki had damaged their atmosphere, and by using gold, they found that they could patch these atmospheric holes. Becomes the story of our humanity. The Anunnaki literally came to Earth to mine the gold. And when realizing it was such a toil to do so, created us as a worker race to do that for them.
Zecharia Sitchin's hypothesis that the Anunnaki came to Earth to mine gold and then created humans to perform the task was both bold and controversial. Needless to say, it was not embraced by mainstream scholars. But many ancient astronaut theorists believe that Sitchin's interpretation of the tablets is not only correct, but also provides compelling evidence that the Anunnaki created mankind.
What if the whole Anunnaki story is a global story of a non-human intelligence that was manipulating genes all over the planet, that it wasn't just gold, it was a planetary base?
The Anunnaki said that they came from the Nibiru, and they believe that Nibiru is a star, a gate, and a crossing place, opening up the possibility that the Anunnaki are actually traveling the stars through stargates and wormholes.